Barbarianism is the natural state of mankind. Civilization is unnatural. It is the whim of circumstance, and barbarism must ultimately triumph. I know this. If life is an illusion, then I am no less an illusion, and being thus, the illusion is real to me. I live, I burn with life. I love, I slay, and am content. Civilized men are more discourteous than savages, because they know they can be impolite without having their skulls split.
Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. We have a bunch of you in chat already. It warms the old cold black heart that is in my chest. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Today we'll be playing Conan Exiles, my favorite survival crafting game. Next to... I actually enjoy this more than Minecraft, believe it or not, but this is my favorite survival crafting game. I absolutely love Conan Exiles. Everybody loves the Wheel of Friendship, as my friend group call it. Wheel of Friendship. Actually, Ball was the one who started that, if I recall correctly. Oh, bless the old boy. Yes, we have Ludus in the chat, Nico. We have Karn. Lovely Karn. Oh no, he's getting late. Bullshit, I am on time, thank you very much. He is laughing his head off on my take on anti-grav tech of the 40k channel. I am not laughing my ass off on it, no, not quite yet. Wheel of Friendship, indeed. Robert E. Howard had that oomph to his quotes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did indeed. Well, gentlemen, welcome, welcome. By the way, make sure to leave a like on the stream. It helps push it in the algorithm so more good old buds actually get notified. That's a theory of mine, I think. I think YouTube sometimes completely, like, bases on sending out notifications or not, whether the stream is actually doing algorithmically well. So the more interaction you do with the stream, I think the more the algorithm is actually going to be prompted to notify people. That is a theory. I have no proof of that quite yet, but I have some, like, circumstantial evidence of that, I believe. So make sure to do those little tiny things that seem so inconsequential but mean the world to me. Thank you very much. Also, happy belated birthday to little Ludus's son. I hope he enjoys his cake today. Yes, Robert E. Howard was definitely a wordsmith. This supposed to be my boy, the Barbarian. Well, actually, in the game, you don't play as Conan. You play as your own character in a Conan setting, and you do come across Conan, which is interesting. I actually had a hard time finding him until Ball actually showed me exactly where in the game you could find him, and even then, apparently, he moves around. So, yes, it's kind of the joy of it. So, before I even get started with the game, I'm debating on whether I want to start over with a from scratch, brand new, or if I want to, like, pick up where I left off in my last single-player campaign. I can't remember how far I got. It's been a while. I was actually doing a Let's Play series on it, and then, like, I fell off of it, which is a bad habit of mine. I'm debating, do I pick back up where I left off? That wouldn't be entirely inappropriate. Oh, by the way, while I'm making that decision, a couple things. First of all, if anyone's wondering where I got the thumbnail art from, a friend of mine by the name of Tehedora713, or just 7, Tehedora7, you can find her on Twitter as well as YouTube. I forgot to put her YouTube link in the description, but her Twitter link is in the description, and I believe from there you can find a YouTube link. She is a very talented artist, a friend of the community, and yeah, go and support her. I don't know if her commissions are open. If they are not, respectfully leave her be for the time until she can eventually open her. Keep her bookmarked if you would like some really good artwork. She's really good at mimicking art styles from Akira Toriyama. Very good at mimicking styles like Hell of a Boss. Hell of a Boss is, like, I think her favorite art form, and it shows. She's very talented. So again, if you're looking for a high-tier artist that is very much worth the cost of commissions, absolutely check out Tehedora713 or just 7. All right, I did my little bit there. Don't be an altaholic, but I like alts. The alts are fun. They're very fun. So you're telling me to pick back off where I left off rather than start over, aren't you? You have to be like that. I don't know. Should I put it as a chat poll? I guess I'll put it as a chat poll. I don't know, like, how many people are here right now, but... Yeah, we'll start a quick poll. Start new game. In Conan. Alright, boom. I put a poll in the chat. Put a poll in the chat. Please give your feedback. Oh, geez, the chat. Wait, it prompts that in the chat now? That's interesting. I just noticed that in, like, my little stream chat over there. Like, it shows me putting in the poll. It's like... oh, so far is 100% yes. Start new game in Conan. Yeah, give that just a second. Oh, you want me to do another quote thing? Hold on. I'll use this voice again, but I don't know. Let me know how it sounds.
For man's only weapon is courage that flinches not from the gates of hell itself, and against such not even the legions of hell can stand. Robert E. Howard, The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane.
I don't know, how'd that sound? That sound good? That do justice? Oh, you bastards. I look away for 1 second and the poll's now 50-50. Damn it. Someone break the tie, please. Whoever the third vote is, I'm just gonna hit end poll when I see the third vote. That way, done in there. That's good. Good. I don't know. I don't know if that voice does it well. Actually, let me try another voice. Let me try another voice while we hopefully wait for one more vote at least.
For man's only weapon is courage that flinches not from the gates of hell itself, and against such not even the legions of hell can stand. Robert E. Howard, The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane.
I don't know, was that too loud? I think that might have been too loud. Because I saw my mic peaking a little bit. Alright, any poll there. Just so. Alright, so the wins, the yeses have it. So, whoops, I did not mean to open that. There you go. Alright, so we're going to go for a single player co-op. And we are going to start a new game. Play in single player. I am lonely. I am the loneliest man that I'll ever do. Oh, this is new. Single player, Exile Islands, Isle of Sipta. I'm not gonna do a poll for that. I think we'll just do the Exile Lands. You know, we don't need to do Isles of Sipta. Also, I'm not a fan of the Isles of Sipta. I thought that they're terrible or anything. It's just it wasn't my thing. Let's see. Should we do Decadent, Barbaric, Civilized? Okay, so what do they say that's different? I'm assuming. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards Decadent, but might do Barbaric just for the meme. We float from a crag, a smurf with actual humor. That is a very rare commodity amongst the Ultramarines. Good to me. Okay, good. Alright, so Civilized easy, in other words. Decadent is normal, Barbaric hard, okay. So Decadent, this level is for people who have played survival games before and want to be challenged but not overwhelmed. Kind of leaning towards that. Barbaric. This level is for... This level is for players who consider themselves masters of the survival genre, able to optimize their character in all aspects of play. Enemies do significantly more damage and are significantly harder to kill. You gain experience only for your actions, not for simply surviving. Survival is harder, and resources are harder to come by. You drop all items on death and must find your body to recover them. Bastard. By the way, do you have the complete Chronicles of Conan? I highly recommend. I do not. I do not believe I have that now. Actually, that sounds familiar though. Hold on, maybe I have an audible version of that. I know I don't have that physically. Yeah, I don't have that. Oh, it's only $60 on Amazon. Yeah, I'm trying to save my money right now because I'm planning on going. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, God plan. But I'm gonna try and save up money for August to go visit my buddies. A couple of them are in chat right now, unless they left. Hoping to visit a couple of my buddies over in Germany. Speaking of gentlemen, my good buddy Khan and Hang, if he wakes up at some point today, and or Dragonis, the three of you, my girlfriend would like to come. So, knowing Tang will probably not want to share a hotel room with me and my girlfriend, we're probably gonna have to get our own hotel to spare the poor man. You have a couple hours before you need to go? Good, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Don't leave me. Alright, so I don't know, Decadent. I'm kind of between Decadent. I'm probably gonna go Decadent. I don't think I need to go full Barbaric. So we're gonna go Decadent. Wait, what's custom? Oh, that's right. Message of the day, server password. Okay, shipment. Oh yeah, this is where I can get really nitty gritty with it. You're all for that? Awesome. Well, friends, yeah. Speaking of my girlfriend, she's taking a nap right now. She might wake up and come over. That's her laptop right there, so... By the way, she is obsessed with stickers. Do you see all that shit? She's got a bunch of stickers everywhere. I'm gonna see this. Let me... go through PvP enabled. Living settlements enabled. Yeah, I'll go with that. Time restricted PvP. No. Just me, so... If this is flagged, players can attack and destroy others. Okay, that's PvP stuff again. No ownership. No. Enable sandstorm. Yeah, we'll do sandstorm. It's fine. Max size. We're gonna do none because YouTube will yeet my ass. God damn you, YouTube! They are preventing us brothers from seeing the titties. How dare they? Absolute bastards is what they are. Alright, here we go. Alright, so that's... Yeah, so we'll do custom. Give me a moment, gentlemen and gentle ladies. Oh, there's another quote I must read. Yeah, we're doing this.
But not all men seek rest and peace. Some are born with the spirit of the storm in their blood. Restless harbingers of the violence and bloodshed, knowing no other path.
I think I might have accidentally added a word in there, but otherwise, how was that? No floppy barbarian dick, what a shame. I know. I can't see the peen. How dare they? I might boost XP gain, because if I recall correctly, it's very, very slow to get XP natively. Let's see, XP rate multiplier. Okay, this multiplier affects all types of XP that players receive. You can use this to speed up player progression in all activities. Yeah, we're gonna up that. I don't want to do like 10. I don't want to make it like, you know, blink and I'm like max level, but certainly do want to progress it a lot faster. So let's do, I don't know, is 6 too much? 6 might be too much. Display XP time multiplier. Okay. In Conan Exiles, players receive IXP passively over time, something for surviving. Okay, oh, that's right. We'll up that as well, but definitely not as much. Let's see, player XP kill. Okay, kills I do actually want to feel significant. So let's do 7.5. Actually, harvest multiplier. Harvest. Oh, this is definitely going up. Oh no, that's just the XP. Never mind. I don't want to up that too much if it's just XP. If it's just like the XP of gathering, so we'll just do 4.5. Craft multiplier. Craft, let's have that at the same level as harvesting. Meaty, love it. Flop a dangling. Alright. I don't know, is that too much of a boost? We'll leave it at that. That might be too much, but we'll see. We'll see what we actually get in the game. I remember playing on a server that Ball started, and I think he turned all XP sources all the way up completely. Because you'd get in the game and just walking around, you'd be like, level up, level up, level up, level up, level. You'd be like, God damn, I'm level 45, and all I've done is walk from point A to point B. He just had everything maxed out. He's like, oh, I don't want to grind everything. I'm like, I understand, man, but god damn. There's such a thing as progression. Day cycle speed. Okay, this multiplies the entire 24-hour day cycle speed and parts of daytime speed. Daytime hours and Conan Exiles between 7 and games. This multiplier will multiply the time spent. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave this stuff native, I think. I mean, I'm not gonna touch that stuff. I think that's fine. Revival. I think I'm gonna leave this also native. Drop equipment on death. Drop everything. I do want death to be punishing, so I'm gonna leave it on drop backpack. I don't want it to be like crippling punch. Like dropping everything, like including my equipped stuff, is gonna. Oh, whoops. Actually, I'm gonna say if I'm idle, I want to lower. Actually, if I lower it, does that increase the speed at which my hunger comes along, or does that decrease it? Let's lower it slightly. Backpack, everybody can loot corpse. I'm gonna still leave all that native. Taken multiplier. Again, I'm gonna leave all that native. Deep into that darkness, peering long, I stood there, putting. Alright, let me switch.
Deep into the darkness, peering long, sorry. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before.
How is that? How am I doing on my quote scale here? Alright, I think we're gonna leave harvesting the same. I might let's increase the harvest amount by let's do 3. I'll increase that also to 6.5. This multiplies the speed at which items can be crafted, so definitely gonna up that substantially, because I definitely find like crafting times very annoying. Let's do... We'll do 6.5. For all crafting time multiplier. And we'll do... Three. A quote out of 10. A quote out of 10. Well, goddamn you! Give me a review, you bastard. Fuel burn time multiplier. I'll leave that native. Crafting cost multiplier. I think that's fine at 25. Abandonment. Okay. Not building anywhere. Yeah, let's do that. I want to be able to build any damn place I'd like. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, because if this is flagged, disables decay at ability 710. Yeah, I don't want my buildings to decay if I'm not at them for a certain period of time. That's just annoying. Pet and hunger system. I think leaving that's fine. And obviously SIPTA is SIPTA. So, alright, there you go. Sorry that took a minute for me to play around with the settings, ladies and gentlemen. Saved game already exists. Do you wish to overwrite it? Yes. We are beginning a new journey, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Lee out of Lord of the Rings. How's that for review? Well, it depends what you mean. Do you mean out of Lord of the Rings as in what Lord of the Rings would have been if you had taken Christopher Lee out? Or you're saying a Christopher Lee as he was in Lord of the Rings out of 10? Then I would take that. That would be certainly be a praise and a half. As he was. Ah, then thank you. That is very high praise of you, good sir. Praise I am not worthy of, but I will take all the same. I already praised you by giving you that quote. Oh, damn. Alright. Male or female? Do I want to be a muscly stud or a voluptuous woman? You really like the Raven? Quoth the Raven, nevermore. Edgar Allan Poe was definitely a very talented guy. Kind of unfortunate the way he lived. But not everyone can have a very kind or loving life. Oh, let me turn up the volume on my end. Male, female, male, female, male, female, male, female. We'll do male. Actually, hold on. Titties. Alright, race. Alright. I normally go with Sumerian, but let me look at the other options. Hyborian. Hyborians encompass those descendants of barbaric worshippers of Bori, who swept from the North Millennia. Actually, let's do this in a special voice.
Hyborian. Hyborians encompass those descendants of the barbaric worshippers of Bori, who swept from the North Millennia ago and destroyed the ancient empire of Acheron. The original Hyborians were tawny-haired and grey-eyed, but intermingling with other races has diversified their appearance. Sumerian. Barbaric and warlike, the Sumerians are the descendants of the ancient Atlanteans. They fight on foot, mainly, and make savage raids on their neighbors to the east, north, and south. Stygian. Stygians are ruled by King Ctesiphon. Ctesiphon. That guy. But it is no secret that the priests of Set are the true power in the land. Only the Black Ring, a cabal of sorcerers led by Thoth-Amon, rivals the priests in power and influence. Tribal Himmelian, wedged between Turanians to the north and the Vendians to the south. Himalayans have developed a fierce survivalist society. They are fiercely loyal to one another and quick to turn against their multitude of enemies. I see you, Peters. Hyrcanian/Turanian. Dark and slender, the Hyrcanians are the descendants of the Lemurians, who roamed westward after escaping their slavery in the east by the Kari. The most famous Hyrcanian tribe are the Turanians, who have carved themselves an empire on the shores of the Vilayet Sea. Khitan are known to be mysterious and secretive, which increase their reputation as powerful sorcerers. Very little is known of the Black Kingdoms, but merchants and adventurers report back with tales of both savage tribes and great civilizations thriving among the vast landscape. Pierce makes a very solid argument. Kushite. Very little is known of the Black... Fuck. Okay. Very little is known of the Black Kingdom. It was gangs and shit. But merchants and adventurers report back with tales of both savage tribes and great civilizations thriving among the vast landscape. Nordheimer. Nordheimer, the yellow-haired Aesir and red-haired Vanir, are the pale-skinned, blue-eyed race who rule the kingdoms north of Cimmeria. Known for being wayward and fierce, they use their powerful builds and brute strength to overwhelm their enemies in battle. Pict. The tribes of the Pictland are continually at war with each other, their neighbors, and anybody who is unfortunate to wander into their territory. The life of the average Pict is one of constant, unrelenting horror, as dark gods and bloody wars threaten to snatch away life and soul at every turn. Shemite. Nomadic Shemites or Shemites are notorious for their skill with bows and their duplicity as traders. The pastoral peoples are considered Kalmar or Kalmur, and more civilized with highly skilled artisans such as the smiths of Akbitana. Darfari. Barbaric to the core, the Darfari are savage bandits and murderers that form loose bands in order to bring sacrifices to the altar of their god Yog. They file their teeth to points and use mud and twigs to style their black hair into horns, giving them a demonic appearance. Vendian, or Vendian, referred to as the Golden Kingdom Vendir, is a caste of rulers who are considered close to divinity. In particular, the sister of the king, Devi Yasmina, is well known for her unearthly beauty. Zamorian. Zamorian are reputed to be the best thieves in the world, and cities such as the Shadizar the Wicked and the city of thieves reinforce the reputation of this despotic state. And finally, the Zingarian. Zingarian noblemen are renowned for their chivalry and swordplay, while Zingarian sailors are cursed in seaports around the civilized world as coarse brutes.
Alright. Hope you enjoyed the narration. You look so bored in that cross. I know. It's like, are you done yet? Alright, so I'm probably gonna go with Nordheimer. Religion. Okay, normally when I play this game, I end up almost always going for Crom. I don't know if you guys want me to read off all the descriptions like this, like I did just the races. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming you guys want me to get to the gameplay, so. But, Mitra, Set, Yogg, Ymir, Darketo, Crom. Specialization? None. Avatar? None. This is the god of Conan. He's literally a god of, well, I gave you everything you need. Fuck off. But my lord, I'm not helping you. But why? I already gave you everything you need. Fuck off. You went with Mitra? Ah, goody two shoes. Zoth. Ooh, I don't remember Zoth. Hold on. Avatar Giant Spider. Yeah. Purity through cleansing. Warning, this is not a religion for those who suffer from arachnophobia. Duh. I do a little bit, so admittedly, I'm probably going to avoid Zoth just on that. Crom. Again, I usually go with Crom, so maybe another one would be a good idea. You always play Nordheimer for obvious reasons. Of course, of course. You look so bored on the cross. You mostly wore the Greek. Yeah, the Greek armor set does actually look pretty cool. Guilty, yeah. The good of self-sufficiency. You mean the god of self-sufficiency? Actually, what was Darketo? The dual nature of Darketo encourages her worshippers to walk the knife blade between lust and death. Ooh, yeah. I'll go with Ymir. Just as an alternate choice than what I usually go. Specialization, ice and cold. Actually, hold on. Flesh preparation, cannibalism. Poisons and antidotes. Healing and light. Why not? We'll go with Ymir.
The gods are watching.
The gods are watching. Cut me down. Please.
The gods are watching. Death is coming. Cut me down. Please.
That's stoic.
The gods are watching. Death is coming. The gods are watching.
By the way she's saying that, the gods aren't the only thing that's coming. How is that savage?
Death is coming. Cut me down. The gods are watching.
Death is coming. Cut me down. Death is coming. The gods are watching.
Cut me down. Please.
I think I'll go with savage, I guess. Or being self-sufficient is good. Ah, okay. Waifu collector and Pokemon catcher, a little menagerie of critters. Goddamn. Peter's over here looking for his harem. Alright, so it wouldn't make sense for a Nordheimer to be dark, so we'll leave that. Actually, I will look at the face. Face 1 is actually already pretty, pretty on point. Oh, okay, for a second there, Face 3 looked good until the wrinkles loaded in. I think Face 1 actually is the best one. Well, of course there's no green skin. We're not playing Warhammer here. And even then, like, fantasy I might be wrong, but at least with 40k anyway, there ain't no female orcs. There aren't male orcs. Orcs are just orcs. Yeah, orange isn't very orange. It looks very blonde. Kind of want to give her black hair. Yeah, because that looks way too blonde for me. It's Twin Tails. Love Nordheimers. One of my favorite Conan stories, The Frost Giant's Daughter, is set in the tundra of Nordheim. Ooh. Did Conan get it on with the Frost Giant's daughter? Black like Xena's? I mean, that was what I was thinking. Like Xena's. You want to talk about like a primo beauty from like an old show? If anyone out there who hasn't watched Xena Warrior Princess, you get to watch a hot chick beat up people and like do awesome shit while looking sexy as fuck the entire time. How can you not ask for the perfect show? Hot chick? Check. Kick-ass action? Check. Interesting characters and drama. And a little bit of like Greek mythology as well as other mythologies that work their way in? Check. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Alright. No, I don't need the daddy issues haircut. Correction, that is the daddy issues haircut. we'll go with that one. Oh, by the way, well, actually, I might talk about it a bit later. Well, I'll talk about it now. So you guys heard about Dorn is likely coming back, because in the new Fulgrim novel that came out just recently, there was a bit of a reveal in the texts via vision from a Black Templar character, if I recall correctly. He had a vision of fighting alongside Dorn. So it was likely prophesized that the return of our big guy is coming. Ugh, not another Primarch. I mean, at this point, it's pretty clear to me that GW's plan is to garner up as many of the Loyalist Primarchs as they can versus the traitor Primarchs. They're even probably going to bring back Horus. And I see what GW, like, long-term plan for the tabletop and the lore of what they're doing. They're either planning on doing one of two things. They're either going to do 40k end times. And when they, if they do that, they're going to have like a big Avengers Endgame type thing that they're envisioning between the Loyalist Primarchs and the traitors. There's going to be a huge blowout fight, and the universe is basically going to come to an end. Reverend Norse, thank you for the super chat, my brother. I see you. Ye are new to these lands. Hold on, let me read this in a special voice.
Ah, I see ye are new to these lands. Mine own time has run its course, for I have been here longer than most can remember.
Thank you, my dear man, for the kind generosity that you have brought me. I appreciate it. Actually, I'll do one more voice. Let me do one more voice.
I see ye are new to these lands. Mine own time has run its course, for I have been here longer than most can remember.
Thank you. Yes, I am currently creating my main character for this new campaign into Conan Exiles. But yeah, I see with Dorn, with the universe as a whole, that they're kind of leading up to 40k end times. I don't get me wrong, I'm not hoping for that. That's just what I think logically they're going to do. So after they do that, they're going to do one of two things after they lead up to that 40k end times. We're either going to get a new version of 40k. That goddamn Reverend Norris, thank you for another super chat, my man. Thank you for the generosity. Take these resources, I have no need for them. Ye will find the lands rich but perilous. Actually, again, let me do this in an
Chosen voice. Take these resources, I have no need for them. Ye will find the lands rich but perilous. But I can see in your eyes you have the necessary fire in you to thrive.
Gibbs then walks off into the sandstorm. No, come back, my good man. But yeah, so either they're going to do a soft reset and we're going to get AOS version of 40k, which is frightening. We're either going to get that, or I think a lot of people haven't talked about this enough, but I think that GW may be gearing up to end the hobby. Here's what I mean. Right now, and don't get me wrong, I don't think even they've decided on that yet, but the reason I think that they're gearing up for that is with the Henry Cavill TV show discussions and working with Amazon, as well as the success of Space Marine 2, what was once the secondary market for GW, video games and when they would sell off their IP to let other people use it for other productions to help advertise things back to the 40k hobby itself. What was once their secondary market and doing crossovers and collabs with other people might end up becoming their main source of revenue. I think that it'll all come down to how successful Henry Cavill's show is going to be whenever that comes out. I think they're buying time in the hobby right now till that happens to make a decision. And then once that Henry Cavill show is out, and depending on how successful it is, if it's extraordinarily successful and a ton of money is made, I wouldn't be surprised if GW execs wrap up 40K on the tabletop side. And they close down shop, they stop production of all miniatures and codexes and everything. They might keep production of books up, but generally speaking, they just cut off production. And then they just make money by whoring off the IP. Selling it off to anybody who's willing to sign a contract with them, and they'll just make passive money through royalties. Whether it be the Henry Cavill show, whether it be other shows in the future, if that one's successful. I genuinely think that is a possibility, and I don't see enough of the 40K community talking about it. I think at this point it's because it's so uncertain, because right now for like secondary market successes that are like big hits, they have Space Marine 2. The secret level episode was extraordinarily popular, so there's also that. Astartes was extraordinarily popular. So I don't. It'll definitely. Again, I don't think they've made that decision yet. I think they're waiting to see how the Henry Cavill TV show goes. So if the show is good and it succeeds and it makes mucho bucks, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a decision they make. Now, is it 100% what they're gonna do? No, that's my theory. But again, it's one of the two paths depending on like the secondary market success. If there is enough profit and enough incentive to keep the tabletop aspect going, and the Henry Cavill show doesn't do so well, keep in mind, I'm talking about like for them to end the hobby production side, they would have to be certain that the secondary market is going to be a huge source of revenue for them for whoring out the IP for royalties. So that decision would only be made if the Henry Cavill show is like a breakout success. Like we're talking millions of views over on Amazon Prime when that drops. It would have to be something that sets a precedent for other people interested in making productions based in the IP. So there's a lot of elements that have yet to be accounted for that, but either way, they're leading up to what feels like a 40K end times. They're trying to get all the Primarchs back that they can. They're trying to get all the Trader Primarchs back. They've even opened the door to have Horus come back with the End in the Death Volume 3 and changing how the Horus died from the original lore, which is that the Emperor basically Kamehameha'd his ass out of existence, like annihilated him entirely. They went from that to now Horus just got shivved. So, and the Emperor even said, we will meet again. So it's more than likely Horus will come back, but he's going to be corrupted again. Either that, or he's going to become loyalist, and one of the traditional loyalist Primarchs is going to become traitor, because they're definitely going to have someone fill the role of Horus, I think. It just won't be right if they make Horus come back and he's loyalist, without there being some equivalent taking up his space in like the identity and the inverse of Gilliman. So that's what I see is happening soon. Might their plans be to split the Empire, give it to the power bump with Primaris and some old new tech, and then split it in 2 or 3 between the returning Primarchs? That would make more sense, and if they do that tells me that, like, the meta-wise, they're planning on expanding 40K and maintaining it rather than lead up to an end times. Right now, I don't think they're going to do that, because step 1 to establishing that would be the Lion coming back and then having another story with the Lion, which, as far as I know, hasn't happened yet. But the Lion would have to be pissed at what he's seeing right now in the Imperium and go to Gilliman and oppose him. That hasn't happened. Now, lore-wise, that would make sense. As it is, every Primarch that comes back, especially Dorn, should come back and have a burning hatred for Gilliman, because Gilliman is solely responsible for the downfall of the Imperium. Well, I guess solely is not fair. He is the primary reason it fell so bad, because the Imperium could have recovered from the heresy a lot better than it did. Not completely. It definitely was gonna be denigrated no matter what, but the Codex Astartes and the Primarchs disappearing and Gilliman's policies, effectively, are what led to the Imperium's worst states of being at the moment. The reason the Imperium is so weak and ineffective, especially when it comes to the Astartes, is his fault. He made it so they could only have 1,000 Space Marines per chapter. He made it so any more than that had to be a separate chapter. He made it so the Imperium would persecute any chapter that had more than 1,000 or was not found Codex compliant. He made a whole nother source of infighting and in-war that was completely unnecessary and was based off of basically just paranoia and nothing else. Just absolute delusion. So Guilliman is very much a primary source of the Imperium's downfall. And the Primarchs should all come back. Dorn knew that was the case back then. He already called out the Codex as being a bad idea, and he only obeyed it because Guilliman gave him no other choice outside of engaging in a second civil war. It's like, you obey my Codex or I burn the Imperium right now. So Dorn was forced with finishing Horus's job for him because Guilliman refused to stand down. And also, Guilliman shouldn't have had the authority over Dorn to begin with, because Dorn was named Praetorian of Terra, and Guilliman had to give himself a title via the High Lords of Terra to put himself arbitrarily above the actual successor to the Emperor, which was Dorn. Which is one of many reasons I fucking hate Guilliman. Granted, I hate him as a whole anyway, but... do that. Do I want to play around with this? Oh, whoops. Okay, they got it. For a second there, I thought I lost my customizations. No! Hold on. Where is the eyes? Did I do the eyes? Oh, shoot, they're not here. Hold on. There's the eyes. I wish I could do like a bright yellow. That'd be so cool. Oh, that looks pretty good though. We'll make her a tall lady. Can't do that on YouTube, unfortunately. We'll make her slightly toned. Of course, we can't have that anything short of max. Finalize. What should we name? What should we name this lovely lass? We're going to have Horus twerking in Fortnite after that, if that happens. Unironically, I think that's what they want to do. Like, obviously I'm not there. I don't know exactly what's in the execs' heads, but that's how I see things flowing. Like, I see the writing on the wall for such actions. The boobies have jiggle physics. Yeah. Looking a bit goth. Hey. Just saying. Goths. Some primo we. Asmogana? Oh, come on, that's lazy. Let's go... Mordrana? Actually, should I do this in all caps on? Mordrana. Like Hilda. Salka? Kira. I don't know, something... I kind of some. Salka? Hold on. I'm gonna cheat. I have an idea. Alright, we'll go with this one. Freygerd. Yuza? Actually, no, yeah. Yuza might be better. Yuza. You caught me. That one was better. Freygerd sounded alright to me, but...
A prisoner captured by unknown means was transported into the exiled lands, crucified, and left to die for crimes that they may or may not have committed. Death comes swiftly on black wings, until fate intervenes.
But Conan cutting our asses down. He's like, you bitches! I'm here now. Yeah, I did recognize it. Yeah, it's Madara from Naruto. Don't worry, I caught that.
Thirsty, dead woman. Shall I cut you down from that corpse tree?
That'd be nice.
It might kill you. You civilized women are soft.
Thanks.
Your lives are not nailed to your spines.
Can I just say how much it would suck for a guy to show up who's gonna save you? Who's just like, by the way, you know, you're soft and weak. As you're hanging from a cross, it's like, come on, man.
Where I come from, we kill our enemies in battle. We don't leave them in the desert to die like dogs.
Yeah, that's a big theme with Conan, isn't it? It's like, they call him barbarian, but in many ways, barbarism is more fair and equal than the civilized world.
This land does not love men. You are marked, and you cannot cross the ghost fence wearing that. It might have been kinder to leave you on the cross.
I'll be the judge of that.
Live. Love. Burn with life. Slay and survive. We will meet again, dead woman.
Damn, her cooch is almost hanging out. Conan the Barbarian. This doesn't roll off the tongue. It kind of does. The Barbarian, man. Goddamn, you only made it 5 feet. Imagine that was just the end of it. Cut to back. It cuts to black and go to credits. It's like, well, Conan wasted his time on that one. Oh. 10 out of 10. Best game. Soy Jack the Cockberry. Ugh. Alright, we discovered. You discovered the broken highway. Oh, hello. Give me your food. Alright, now I gotta remember the controls. Right. Seems the prisoner they were transporting was not very kind. Oh look, Vlad the Impaler's been through here. I knew this was a weird vacation spot. Name her Erda. Fuck that! Y'all couldn't have forced me at gunpoint to name a character I'm playing Erda. Fuck that.
You will never make me name such a character as that. I'll make you burn.
I really gotta get one of like a second little keyboard thing so I can switch those out. Boobs aren't big enough. Hey, that's the biggest they let me make them. But I agree. Would have been nice if they were a tad bigger, but I'll settle. Coming through, the titty queen is come. Alright, so if I recall correctly, if I just follow the road, it'll lead me to the oasis. Yep. Going. Ah! Fuck. Fuck you. There's a dead guy up there. If I recall correctly, you can climb any surface, can't you? There we go. Oh crap, we're stamina. Ow. Okay, never mind. I've gained a level. You fell! Hi, baby. How you doing, sweetie? Live streaming? Oh. She's camera shy. It's fine, then we'll see you. The view is like literally like this little pocket here. So, you're fine. You could sit down. Okay. Alright, I gotta get my characters so or they starve. She woke up. Ah, there we go. The buzzards are swinging through. Not a good sign. Let me give myself some plant fibers. Okay, I'm leveling up quite fast. So maybe I did turn it up a little too fast. It'll probably slow down once I get to a certain level. What's this? Island Barber? What the fuck is that? Okay. Cornerstones. I definitely want a bow. What? Yeah? Baby, you act like if the camera sees you, you're gonna melt. You're gonna be fine. Just sit down. What? What is this? What is this? Okay. Come on, baby. They won't see you. You'll be fine. I'm blocking the camera right now with my face. You see? I'm blocking it. You're fine. You're fine. Come here. They can't see you. The camera's not gonna melt you. They can't see you. I'm still blocking it. You're fine. You're fine. You can sit down. Oh god. How are you gonna handle meeting the guys in Germany?
That's different.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's different, you say.
That's different. You're actually seeing them in person, not through a camera lens.
Gotcha. Critical difference.
Very.
How dare I compare them?
Dare you compare person-to-person interaction with the camera lens?
I could have turned off the cam, you're right. But that wouldn't be good for her.
What? You just like push me out of my comfort zone.
Which is good for you.
No. No.
Oh, crap. Okay, good. They're going after the crocodile. This is my lovely character in the game.
Why is it a woman?
Because if I'm going to stare at an ass for several hours on end while crafting and stuff, why not have, it be a voluptuous woman?
Fair enough.
Big old bitties.
You're bigger.
That is true. Okay. I gotta pick up stacks and rocks and shit. I do gotta say, every time I come here, I do love the environment that they built for the Exile Islands. They're just so cool. Isra the Barbarian. He crushes her enemies with her beastly memories. Alright, some stone, 54. Alright, now I need the axe. Stacks. Alright. That should lead me to being able to craft. I'm definitely going to need... Well, first off, let's definitely get a bow and some arrows. Craft 10. That is taking longer to craft than I would have suspected. Did I accidentally... Hold on, did I accidentally... Perhaps I... Did I make that craft faster or craft slower? Hold on, let me test the theory. Okay, that sped that up, actually. So, yeah, maybe it's the lower that is, the faster. That or I'm crazy. Oh, crap. No, that's times 10, isn't it? Oh, I didn't realize. Footwood arrow. Okay, so that increases... Gotcha. Alright, so... I know much to my own chagrin. There's craft... some clothing. Somehow that is more revealing due to the cleavage without the wrapping. Right here. Actually, I'm gonna now hop into the to a Discord call for any of my buds who wish to join me in there. I'm gonna limit the number of people in it though. Five users tops. There we go. Yes, because as this is a survival crafting game, the story is going to be a little light. So, if anyone wants to come into the call and bant with me, let me know. Oh shit, they got cut in half. He looks like he was taken off guard a little bit. It's like, I was not expecting that. Damn. Alright, hold on. So let me... So now that I got my bow and some armor, let me craft the necessaries for everything else. There we are. Put bugs in there. I'm pretty sure I can put the arrows in inventory and still call upon them if I... No, I have to have the arrows also in my inventory. What? There we go. Enviously wholesome. I thank you, my good man. I love you.
I love you too.
Who's the most beautiful woman in the world? Oh, you growl at me. You know I'm right. You damn right. Get. You be behind in the stream? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you're not even up to like the live point. Gotcha. So everything's a bit delayed for you. Well, man, thank you very much for your kind. Fuck! I almost walked into that. Hold on. Scheiße. Stay away. Ow. missed. There we are. Glorious. I've gained a level. We should probably start applying some attribute points here. Procs at early level. Yeah. Am I muted? Wait, am I muted? Oh, in the Discord. Wait, am I? Oh no, it just says I'm disconnected. Hold on. Wait, I think I know why. Hold on. Discord did this to me. So when I had, okay, so yeah, I know why that was happening, Nico. So
what happened?
So Discord does that when I have OBS and my Google browser, my Google Chrome browser open.
Oh, that's no wonder. And here I was, like, I was coming in with like a Conan quote. It's like, Conan, what is best in life? And then yeah, I didn't hear your response. I was like, oh, wrong time or some shit.
Yeah, I hate that it is it. But thankfully I can run the stream out of OBS without having to have the browser open. Hey Jackson, the clanner. Hey Asmo, I have a bit of Asmo, been a bit, have one question. What is best in life?
To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Meaty.
Yeah, I think Discord, by the way, you didn't hear the voice changer, I'm assuming.
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a live stream, but I have it on mute so I can hear you.
Yeah, I think hold on, let me see if Discord let me have the voice changer active on both the OBS and this. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, yeah.
Okay, so I think it'll let me... Okay, more importantly, can the stream still hear me? Probably. Okay, good.
Yeah. You can still do that.
There we go. Okay, so now I should start applying some attribute points. Strength, agility, vitality, authority, grit, expertise. I always like to get expertise up to that first column. Because tools durability half as quickly, and hunger and thirst deplete 30% slower. That is very invaluable early on.
Yeah, especially early level, yeah. Speaking of, one.
Right, I'm also going to increase... Excuse me. I'm also going to increase my agility.
Do I have one DLC? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't like $10 each. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the few games I've bought like 100% of the DLC for. This is my favorite survival crafting game, even more so than Minecraft.
I mean, Minecraft is great and all, don't get me wrong, but it don't have the barbarian taste.
Put a vitality at 1. There we go. Alright, so I'm running low on food. Nope, I ate already. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's also kind of funny because a lot of people don't know how expansive the actual Conan mythos actually is, because, like, it is, like, this is like, it came before Lord of the Rings. That's what people sometimes forget, is that, you know, it had an expansive world, and, well, you know, it's still fantastical, but it's still set in, like, Sumerian culture, somewhat in reality, but with fantastical elements.
Yeah, I was a bit confused with Conan at first, like when like Ball was introducing me to it. I had seen the Conan movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that was my only introduction to Conan. So I wasn't sure how much, like, obviously, like, the Conan movies were fiction, but I wasn't sure if it was based on a real person. I know every time I had looked into Conan, like, the broader descriptions of like, oh, it's like the Hyborian age. It's a time. It's before time. And it's got a bunch of these cultures that actually, quite frankly, do sound like they could have been real. So I was very much mixed up as like, okay, is this fiction, or is this a fictitious version of real history? And Conan and Ball did explain to me like the nuance of it. It is fiction. It's historical fiction, and obviously historical fantasy fiction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it could be a bit daunting at first to get into, but this is why I really recommend Grim Dark Half Off, because he'll just explain it in such nice little detail, and oof, it's like there's meat on the bone that so many people because they maybe like this might be because Conan is such an old character, like he's such a staple of fantasy that people just look at him and they just think of barbarian. He's actually one of the smartest motherfuckers that exists. Like he'll actually play into looking like a dumb barbarian, but that's exactly when he has his claws in your clutches. Like he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
It is low fantasy.
But,
yeah,
it is low fantasy. Yeah, and honestly, I would recommend to any young adults, like any particularly men, like I would really recommend they would read some Robert E. Howard and some of the adaptations of it, because it is so I see with a lot of young men, like they're missing this kinds of stories, It could be a power fantasy a little bit, but there is it does actually talk about the hypocrisies of civilization and what it does to what it can do to people who act as civilized.
Books initially, I think. It was books originally, and then later they made comics. Because Marvel were the ones who took over making comics for Conan, didn't they?
Yes, they didn't own it originally. They did eventually get the rights. From what I remember, Dark Horse had the definitive run of Conan before Marvel did, and Marvel then got the rights from them, which was it's a mixed bag. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a mixed bag. But then we're getting into the Titan Comics era, which is so good. So good. It is like, we're talking like the art is grim and dark, and if you like the one thing I love is that you now have the option between having colored comics that still have the brutality, or if you want the black and white, the kind of the same as the manga with the savage sort of Conan. And it is, I'll try and find some other word, but I just keep saying juicy, which is just, it's so good.
Ow. Fuck you, bitch. I was wondering, are you gonna die? Take your time, I guess.
It's like, oh, I don't feel so good. Yeah. That's actually the one thing that is both tragic and also kind of heartwarming. With Conan is that Robert E. Howard never got to see the full length of success that Conan and his other characters would inspire, and given its tragic history and the thing that happened at the end of his death.
Oh, fuck. What did I?
Yeah. Oh, wow. But yeah, the amount, like the fact that it still goes on strong, even after almost 100 years, is no short of a miracle.
I mean, yeah. Alright, let me craft a couple of these. Yeah, well, yeah. So you're much more of an expert on Conan than I am. That's a given.
I wouldn't say an expert. Like, I have read a few things and a couple of adaptations.
Well, it's more than me. I've only seen the movies.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good movie. Like, you could not have gotten a better Conan than with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ow.
Because again, like, the thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger is that it's kind of the same thing where people assume that it was just a dumb bodybuilder, even though the guy was a millionaire by the time that he got into Conan, and plays into the same kind of strength, and he has the build, and he did his own stunts and everything, and the accent, it being a bit off, actually fits. Like, it is a perfect fit. I wouldn't have had anyone else playing Conan at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, the only other person I think, like, physically, definitely not in every other aspect, but physically, I think that could have played Conan. Probably Jason Momoa. Not now. I think Jason Momoa has gone a bad direction with his career.
Yeah.
Not the worst direction, but not a, like, he's definitely going for softer roles right now. He clearly doesn't want to just be like a brute fighter in his series.
It's a bit of a shame because I feel like he could be doing some interesting roles.
Yeah, he could have.
He could, but I mean, I think a part of it is that isn't he also a father? So you know he wants to do stuff like the Minecraft movie and.
I'm not sure on that front actually. So
I do remember he is a father. At least that's what I remember when he did Aquaman. And like I get it. Like want to be approachable even to children. I mean, when you play as what was it, Khal Drogo, and then you play as you know, and then you just keep getting softer and softer roles. Like I get it. But yeah, let me see. Which is the... Oh yeah, I would say there are many approaches towards Conan, obviously, and I would say the best one, if you're a beginner, is to read the Conan the Cimmerian rendition, which is like the best thing about them, right? Is that not only do they take each individual story and they put their own little spin on them, as in artistically, right? But they also feature the original text of the story. And he's just so good. Hang on, I need to find one of my favorites.
So it was Frank Frazetta that I also give a lot of, this is Pyrrhus talking, credit in truly birthing the setting, and that had one of the biggest influences on fantasy fiction illustration.
Absolutely, dude. You ever seen the one with the snake where Conan is chained?
Yes, I've seen that one.
He's on the top. It is, absolute genius.
Oh yeah.
Funny thing is with Frank Frazetta, did you know that he had his own sword and sorcery character?
Really?
That so Frank Frazetta is not only known for his awesome paintings of Conan and the like, but he also created his most famous work is The Death Dealer, right? And these are a bunch of paintings that are the essence. Hang on, I'm gonna Death Dealer. I'm gonna send them into voice chat, right? And you'll see them whenever. But these, not only are they the most inspirational paintings ever, but they outright he was able to create a whole character and the like, and create not only merchandise for his family, but full on getting books and comics of this character. He looks awesome. Like, it's also just so grim and dark, and you don't even need to say anything else. You just need to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Oh yeah.
And there's a reason so many heavy metal bands base a lot of their, especially in the 80s and 90s, like a lot of their album art is very Conan inspired and very very much that artist inspired.
Absolutely.
Did I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of stuff in my inventory, and I'm barely, like, weight-wise, it's barely reflecting. So I'm wondering, did I accidentally give myself a boost somewhere? Because, that's right, harvest amount. Because I didn't think any of this stuff that I touched here affected, like, my weight. Or, like, what I could carry.
Mm. Okay.
I don't think I touched anything to do with what I could carry. I don't know, maybe I'm forgetting how much I could carry additionally. Weird. Anyway. James Gurney.
Yeah.
Gurney. I did spell it right. Okay.
Okay. I'll put stuff in the voice chat that I'll talk about later, but in the meantime, you just play my beer. Also, damn that side boob.
I know, isn't it great?
Like, it reminds me of that freaking Family Guy bit. It's like, check out this side boob. How about this side boob? That turn you on? Well, it shouldn't, because that's my side boob.
Good God.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna make... So with my first base, I almost always make my first base, like, right by the shore, but it's so far away from everything meaningful.
So funny, I always do it on the island there. It's just it's very convenient. You see there's a little island where you were at?
Yeah.
There's a little one. Yeah, that's where I always put my base. Just, it's nice and separate from everything else.
I mean, I agree with you. The only downside is usually those islands have a bunch of the aggressive creatures there, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's why I typically go on the smallest of islands. But that's just me.
Get across here. So yeah, Funcom is the one who made this game, and they really went like ham with like appropriately showing off Conan, because like obviously there's like the nudity setting, which is one thing. It's like yeah, you know, that's neither here. That's like a very lazy way to make something like a mature or like edgy game. But they actually added like thralls and shit in this game, which is just slavery. You can enslave people.
Yes.
And if that were like bad, like already kind of like pushing the envelope, impressively on top of that, you can not only enslave them, but the way you enslave them is you knock them out with a cudgel. Fuck. You can knock them out with you have to knock them out with a cudgel, and then drag them to your base and put them on a torture wheel.
Yes.
Yeah, this is why I don't make my base on that, because those guys are assholes.
If it works, it works.
Like that takes some balls to make a game with that. I'm just saying, that's pretty ballsy. Alright, okay, this time.
Nowadays, like you can just imagine like most game companies would just absolutely fear the site. It's like, no, we're not promoting slavery. We swear. And you do it with Conan, and it's like, yeah, it's accurate. Deal with it.
I can't remember if I prefer flotsam or sandstone for my first stuff. I'll do sandstone. Why not? Build myself a little bit of a hut around here.
Yarr.
Check. Foundationally, we have begun. It's not a torture wheel, it's a wheel of friendship. Ah, yes, thank you for correcting me, Paris. The wheel of friendship. Like, we're such good friends, I am tying you to this wheel and making you spin around in circles and achieving nothing. You're welcome.
Yeah, honestly, you're just making me stronger, you know? You gotta get a toned body physique somehow.
Construction. What any for this? Okay, I guess I already got that. Oh, that's right, Palisades. Does this actually do anything? I don't know. I've been raided before. I didn't feel like they did anything. Decorative beam. Flotsam gate frame. Flotsam gate door. Okay, that was kind of nice. Oh, it's free to unlock too. Let's see y'all. I'll unlock more healing reps and beds. Hey, boo. Butcher. Ooh, a javelin might be worth unlocking. I do kind of want to make her like an archer focus here, so how we want to do this.
Oh, just for the ladies, you'd think a big boot would hinder them, but no. It makes them more accurate.
Correct. Yeah, these are all the DLC bows. Alright, boom, boom. Friendship built on adversary. Oh, adversity. Yes. Indeed. Whoops. Yeah, I know everybody right now is playing, what was it? Everybody's playing, like, Oblivion Remaster. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I didn't play the original Oblivion, but I'm not, like... I'm not saying people are wrong to be hyped about it, but I guess I just don't fully get the hype myself.
I do. I understand it. I played a little bit of Oblivion back in the day. It never struck me as like a Game of the Year material. It's fine. Like it's nice little like precursor before Skyrim, but honestly, I think I'm more interested in like in lore around Oblivion than in the actual story, because the idea that Oblivion and all the Daedric princes are gonna invade Nirn to make it their own, like that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it sounds awesome in concept, yeah.
Yeah. But I think what's the best way I can describe it? It feels like you have no other agency than to be the hero. That's kind of what within Elder Scrolls, you could always be who you wanted to be. Well, within reason, but yeah, it's like there's no. I don't remember there's any way to like join the Daedra and like ensure destruction, or something like that. I don't think that's ever a choice. Just saying, the option would have been nice.
Here says there's only one Daedric prince. Really?
No, there isn't. There's like 17.
He might be talking about like there's only one that matters type deal.
Oh, do you mean like Sheogorath with all this cheese?
All this cheese?
Yeah. Yeah, haven't heard of the Mad Prince Sheogorath. Okay, so a brief thing about the lore is that Sheogorath was a Daedric prince once known as Jiggalag. And Jiggalag was the very prince of logic and order, right?
Pause. Jiggalag?
Yeah, Jiggalag.
Jiggalag.
Yeah, Jiggalag.
Of all names.
Unironically. Yep.
Good God.
Yes. But okay, so all the Daedric princes, they feared what he might be capable of, considering that, being the one of logic and order, there would be nothing that would surprise him and others, what have you. So the Daedric princes, they decided to gather together and curse Jiggalag. Whereas once you had the very prince of logic and order, you now had an blissfuling lunatic of madness called Sheogorath. Now the thing is, with him being a Daedric prince, it does mean, like, yes, he is mad in a traditional sense, but he's also what, the god of, he's kind of the Daedric prince of creativity as well. Like, he's not a complete blithering idiot.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. And also, dude, the voice actor for Sheogorath, absolute legend.
Welcome, Tiro DVD. What's up?
Mm-hmm. The biggest stick up his butt, yes. Let's see, how many are there? I think, let's see. There is Hircine, the god of the hunt. There's more like Baal, the lord of domination and vampires. Boethia, the Daedric prince of rebellion and usurpation. Or at least, yeah, I think that's the word. Then comes Azura of Dusk and Dawn, I think.
Shit.
Let's see, Malakath, god of the orcs, so you're gonna enjoy him. But also is the Daedric prince of the scorned and ostracized. So I think Guts might find some kinship there.
Might.
Might. Yeah, might. Let's see. Malakath, then there is what was his name? Let's see. Then there's some Fala of spiders and spies and secrets. And there's Mora, the Lovecraftian god of knowledge. You know what? Yeah, I could list the name forever, but everyone always just talks about Sheogorath because of how funny he is. And the fact that the voice actor is having such fun with the community on it. Which is good. Wonderful, in fact. They love him.
And it's always good when, like, the developers and like people who make this stuff, including voice actors, actually are open with the community and kind of like actually have a passion for it, rather than, because, like, to use GTA as an example, so you know how the voice actor plays Franklin and the voice actor plays Michael, they're really involved with the community, and they even like host like RPs and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like, they're really involved with the community. They like the roles that they played, and they like the fans like them so much for it. But the voice actor for Trevor despises both the community and the role that he played, and I think he despises GTA 5 now because of it.
Yeah, isn't it because he got cast as the same character?
I think that's part of it. It's also that, like, fans of the game, whenever they see him, I mean, they used his likeness for Trevor, so that doesn't help, to be fair. But he is constantly, like, reassociated back to Trevor, and he constantly has to tell people, like, listen, I'm not Trevor. Like, there's an element of his disdain that makes sense, because, you know, obviously, like, you do a role. For you, it's just the one time, and you want to be able to do other things. But if it, like, completely defines your career and how people, like, interact and talk to you, and they always constantly treat you like your character, especially when it's a character like Trevor, who is volatile, he's psychotic, he's extremely, like, in many ways, Trevor is likable, but he's also unlikable. Like, if you actually met a guy like Trevor in real life, you would be shitting your pants. You would not want to be around that person. But he's fun from a fictitious standpoint. So, like, when you're an actor who plays that role, it doesn't feel fun to be, like, associated with such a character all the time and be somewhat typecast as the character.
Yeah.
So, I again, there's elements of that's fair to the actor, but he does go, I think, a bit far with treating people with a little bit of disdain. Like, he was on, crap, what's that? There was this app where if you were, like, a famous person, people could, like, pay you a couple bucks to, like, do a quote or say something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but he was on that.
Fiverr or something?
No, it wasn't Fiverr. Fiverr's a different thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but he was on that, and people would constantly ask him to do Trevor quotes, and at the end of every like little video he would do playing as Trevor, he would end it with telling them, by the way, Trevor's a fictitious person, and he would basically mock and like tease the person who just gave him money to do a quote as Trevor for making him do a quote as Trevor. So yeah, there's understandable frustration, and then there's going out of your way to be a dick about it. Like, you're the one who set yourself up on that app to get extra money to do these little quotes. Embrace it. Embrace it or move on, because you don't be a dick about it. It doesn't help anybody to do that.
Yeah. It's just the thing is, like, some actors are able to obviously traverse this same kind of trend with a bit more respect. Like, and yeah, nobody wants to be associated with a character like Trevor. I get that. Though I would say, like, honestly, I would have such a higher opinion of him if he would just maybe like get off the internet on that kind of topics. Like, just do anything else and just like, just let it, because eventually, like, stuff like that is gonna die down a wee bit. Even with something like GTA.
Yeah. Bingo.
Oh, wow. 275. Damn. Okay.
Crafting stations. Get. Boom. I also wanted cooking. I think I'll put that inside. No, the other princes were invading. Oh, they're still talking about Daedric Princess. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's in Oblivion.
Yeah, I might get the Oblivion remastered at some point, but like I said, I'm saving money as tightly as I can now.
I would rather recommend, because I got it free because I have Xbox Game Pass. I would rather recommend that if you can. Like, it's a lot cheaper, and there's like a whole bunch of games that you can get alongside that. So yeah, that's just something to think about. By the way, I put in a couple of recommendations for Conan, like for any basically starter kits. English chat, I meant to say over 250-ish.
There we go. Altar of Ymir. And I need twine, stone. Oh, I can actually make that really quickly. Hey, why not? Oh, I gotta acquire some twine.
Although I will say one thing about Conan that I just love is that we got to get James Earl Jones as the villain. Oh, so good. And this is after he did Darth Vader, but still, like, he has such a menace with his voice.
Was it after? Was Conan 70s or was it 80s?
It was 82 from memory.
Yeah, that would have been after.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, after Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember exactly when the original Conan came out. Okay.
I will say the sequels, the movies that came after, were the best. I mean, I think Conan the Destroyer, like, it has its charm, but it's nowhere near the level of grotesqueness and, the violence that is a Conan story. Like,
yeah, they I don't know why they toned down Conan so much in like the later films.
Part of that is because John Milius, he couldn't return to the sequel because apparently he had other things to do, and so another director came in, and obviously the studios wanted to make more money on the Conan franchise, and because you know, if they could turn, like, you know how studios
Yeah.
always think, like, if we tone down the rating, if we tone down the violence, then people will be more likely to buy it. It's like, with Conan, no. I don't really think so. Also, Jason Momoa as Conan.
I think he's only got the physical side of it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ow.
Like at times he can. Pull it off, but that movie did not do him any favors.
No, it didn't. Yeah. I think.
Dude,
Yeah, I think it would have been if he had a better director and a better script. He would have been a good Conan.
I would have not. I don't really want to blame the director on this because he wanted to make a good Conan film, but it as he quoted, he felt like a dog with too many leashes. Like,
yeah.
There was, you know, production hell and everything, and that's, yeah, that's the worst thing about the Conan IP is that it's also it's splintered, right? So you have those who have the movie rights. You then have those who have rights to the comics, those who have rights to the original stories, and all the like. And they have to, in a sense, they have to be in agreement for anything related to Conan to be made. So that's why we haven't, like, as much as I would love to see Arnold Schwarzenegger do King Conan, which, by the way, if from memory serves, that was one of the more, that was the first story, unless I've gotten that completely wrong. Hang on. Let me see. Robert E. Howard. Was it King Conan? King
Karn says getting a better Conan than Arnold is now sadly impossible with all the Hollywood guys. Yeah, it is. I mean, doing Conan faithful at all right now is impossible. Because of how like whammon empowerment Hollywood has become, and so that's all it's about now. Like there's like zero attempts at making strong male characters that are truly the stars of their own stories without having a female character put over them in their own stories. Like, that seems to be the mandate in Hollywood right now, and I really wish we could go back to like the 90s, because in terms of like how they approached everything, where there wasn't a focus on race, they just made badass characters and they happened to be a certain race. Like someone said it, like I've seen the meme cast around. Disney was more diverse and faithful. It was more diverse and diverse well when they weren't trying. Like, yeah, you go back to the 90s and early 2000s, like with Brother Bear, or I guess Pocahontas had some controversies of people who were overly sensitive about it. But, you know, they had Lilo and Stitch. They had a bunch of characters that were non-white characters that they didn't have to put a bunch of white characters in to make look like the bad guys, to make them look cool, likable, and interesting. They didn't have to vilify a group of people to make another group of people look better. And for some reason, that is Hollywood's approach nowadays. Like, to make a strong female character, they have to make a bunch of male characters look incompetent and useless around her to do it arbitrarily. To make a black character look more effective, they have to make all the white people around them try and be like, just jackasses trying to bring them down and be assholes just for the sake of it, and vilify them. Like, that's Hollywood's modern day approach to storytelling. Is instead of empowering a group of people like they used to be able to do, which is just show that group of people and show them naturally with good stories that are interesting and appeal to most people, just by the virtue of the human element, and not even give a focus or a highlight to their race, just have it be there and let it live, let it breathe. Now it's, to make this group look good, we have to insert this other group and vilify them. And I think that's ruining a lot of stories.
Yeah, I despise that, because I grew up like within the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, where you had cartoons and stories up the ass that had the diversity, right? And nobody even questioned it. My favorite cartoon of all time, Teen Titans, does have that diversity. No one mentions it because that is not the point of it. The fact is, these are characters that are trying their best to you know, to save people and the like. And there's gonna be a diverse amount of villains as well, right? There's gonna be those that are gonna, you know, it's just a matter of fact. Like you're gonna get all that, but it never needed to preach to you about it, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
It just did it, and to this day, like I bet you there are so many people who love. Like I love freaking Cyborg, and the thing, like his race is not even the thing that, like I don't care what race he is, right? The fact that it's like I love his story because this is a character that had everything going for him in life, right? He wasn't doing any drugs, he was athletic, he was getting good grades and all that. It looked like life was really going his way. And then the worst thing that could have possibly happened happens to him. Like, not only loses all of his limbs, but loses his mother. And he has to become a kind of a shell of his former self. But the thing is, like, he makes the best of it by being
Atlantis,
a hero.
yeah, Atlantis.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I hear you.
Atlantis, yeah. Funny enough, before Conan, there was King Kull, who was the king of Atlantis.
Hey, Inquisitor Lelouch, did they fix the thrall system? I haven't made a thrall yet, so I cannot say. But last time I played with thralls were working fine. I think I added a mod. Hold on. I think I added a mod for thrall stuff.
By the way, one thing I wanted to correct is that it was not King Conan that was the first appearance of Conan the Barbarian. It was a collections of stories within Strange Tales called People of the Dark. And it's actually part of the Cthulhu mythos. Cthulhu mythos. Yeah, because for those who don't know, like Robert E. Howard and what was his name again? H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, they were actually good friends, and they would reference each other's work a lot.
And they were polar opposites.
Yep.
Because Robert E. Howard was a bit of a optimist. Well, not quite a humanist, but he was an optimist with human nature and with people in the world and like where humanity could like lead things. Whereas H.P. Lovecraft was petrified of everything and anything that wasn't exactly what he himself was and things like that. So yeah, he also was very much a pessimist.
Yep.
Throughout most of his life, so.
It also, by the way, do you know you're gonna? I'm not gonna say it on stream, but do you know? Can you guess what Lovecraft named his cat?
The N-word?
Better. I'll send it to you.
Better.
Directly.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I was still right. But yeah.
Yeah, you were right. It's just
There's more letters to it.
Literally what he. That's
like I said,
like a name of a superhero.
absolute polar opposites as human beings.
Oh,
Let me finally put my video.
I think it would even reference this in books, by the way. Oh.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's the funniest part. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Ah, I need iron bars. That reminds me, I gotta go looking for iron. Is there anything else I can set up before I go, though? Yes, I'm gonna need some boxes. Rich. Ugh, fucking twine. Well, anyway, for now.
Twine is...
Right, that'll be fine. Actually, I'll take arrow sets with me. Alright, there you go. I'm off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We became good friends, yeah. Oof. Poor Lovecraft never stood a chance, yeah. He turned his cat into a story. Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least he loved his cat that he named that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Good God. Okay, so...
It's actually kind of just insane. Nobody, like, I don't think anyone would have the balls to try and do that.
Different eras, too, to be fair. Like, in the era we're in now, it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now I gotta go
Also,
hunt
I'll be
down
right
iron.
back.
Okay.
Alright, let me see.
Gotta hunt down some iron. Some iron in your belly. See, while I'm out and about. It was the dictionary definition of neurotic. Yes, Lovecraft was. Lovecraft, absolutely. Like, I know the terms like homophobic and like anything phobic is like thrown around nowadays with ease. One of the few people like I think it's fair to use those terms with is Lovecraft, but not in like. I think Lovecraft's case was actually quite tragic. Like again, he was a racist. He was a homophobe. He was these things, but he wasn't what I would call like a villain of those traits. He wasn't evil-hearted. It was like when the term phobic, like insert word phobic, is thrown around, it's an insult. But you don't when people like call like when woke people call other people like insert word phobic. They don't actually mean like literally you're afraid of these things. They mean, oh, you hate those people of those natures or of those descriptors. In Lovecraft's case, he genuinely was afraid, like fearful of those things. When we say homophobe, he was genuinely fearful of things other than himself that he did not understand. Like petrified of. Not just hateful, and there was hate, for sure, but that was hate born of fear. Genuine fear. So, while I think it's fair to use those terms to ascribe to Lovecraft, I don't think it's fair in the sense of, like, as a demeaning way. Again, in Lovecraft's case, it's tragic. Like, he was so neurotic and so screwed up and so paranoid that, can you imagine being Lovecraft? The man was constantly afraid.
Yep.
All the time.
And somehow, the funny thing is, like, he still managed to get a woman to marry him. Not for a long time, mind you, but still.
Oh, yeah.
But
even Lovecraft got bitches.
Well, I mean, he didn't stay for too long. Went to New York, and then developed a... what was it? A fear of air conditioners, which is why he created cool air. What was it called?
I'm not sure. He wasn't the Usher painter. That's for yeah, exactly. Like again, like the phobic words are thrown around nowadays as just insults, but in the clinical sense of the words, he fit like phobics for sure. It just wasn't. It wasn't spite, hatred, or villainy. It was fear. It was genuine fear. So, yeah, Lovecraft was a tragic case. And I do genuinely feel bad for the man, because he lived a very isolated lifestyle. He didn't like traveling. He didn't like other people very much. That's why his friendship with Robert E. Howard is so unique and so special, especially because they're opposites. If I were to wager, obviously not knowing either individuals, if I were to wager, I think a huge thing that H.P. Lovecraft loved most about Robert E. Howard is that he was what he... I would imagine Robert was probably who he wanted to be. In the sense of, Robert wasn't afraid of life. He wasn't afraid of people, and he wasn't constantly afraid of anything other than himself, like Lovecraft was. So I would imagine a huge amount of the affection he held for Robert was, this is the man I wish I was, but I just simply cannot be via the virtues or the lack of virtues I have.
It is quite tragic. And in both cases, like, I do think it's both tragic because both of them inspired so much later on in their, everything, they inspired so much. And both of them neither got to see, like, the full extent of what they would, bring to the culture, if you will. Because, because they're both American authors, and they created, the staple, like both the horror staple of America, well, a horror staple of America, and also the sword and sorcery, like, fantasy that so many people emulate to this day.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I was just about to say, like, it is interesting the two of them were friends, because Lovecraft is the father of, well, I don't think he's the grandfather of, but I would call him the father of cosmic horror. Mm-hmm. I think there's definitely people before Lovecraft that had, like, a form of cosmic horror, but... Yeah,
it was, the author who did The King in Yellow.
I would say Lovecraft, inarguably, though, redefined cosmic horror. Or certainly gave a more of a life to it as a genre than anybody else. Like, Lovecraft really brought that kind of horror into the fore and created arguably one of the most recognizable franchises, as well as, like, fictional character might be not the right word, but I'll go with that. Fictional characters in the form of Cthulhu or Yog-Shorog. Was it Yog-Shorog was one of his, or was that something else?
Yog-Sothoth, I think.
Yog-Sothoth. And of course, Shub, you know the rest of that name.
Yeah.
Which I cannot repeat on...
Get stream shut down name.
Yes. Because Lovecraft couldn't turn it down for 5 minutes.
No, he could not. By the way, hey Ludus, hey Pierce.
Yep. Howdy.
How you boys doing?
I'm okay. How about you guys?
Yeah, pretty good. Playing some Conan, talking Conan, and H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, sorry,
talking
sorry.
Like old timey foundational fantasy writers, because you put, like, in terms of, like, the genre of fantasy today, like the big names that you owe for it are, very much Robert E. Howard, J.R.R. Tolkien, and all those names.
By the way, I just realized without Robert E. Howard and without H.P. Lovecraft, we wouldn't have Berserk.
Oh no, we wouldn't.
It's worth it.
Yeah, sorry, Lelouch, you missed what I was saying to do the ads. I set YouTube to do the automatic ad thing. I think they do it more often than I set it for, because they're like, oh, how often do you want the ads? I'm like, moderate, so like every 20 or so minutes. I think they do it more often than that, because I've seen people like mention the ads more often than just 20-minute intervals. That's weird. I gotta go. See you guys. Alright, see you later, Karn. Thanks for hanging out, brother. I'm gonna try and get the more bark.
I am still in the process of making a cake.
Ooh.
What kind of cake?
Well, no. So, how autistic do you want me to take this?
Just tell me the type of cake.
That's the
Asmo
problem.
unless Asmo wants a full recipe, I don't know. Or the
Well, no,
or the
it's not the full recipe. It's getting into the detail of what the cake actually is, because there's a special type of cake it is.
Go autistic with it. Why not?
Okay, so it is a genoise, which is literally 4 ingredients. It's essentially your basic sponge cake is the easiest way. Take that as your base. You're putting a simple syrup, which is 1 part sugar to 1 part water. I flavored it with orange extract. You essentially soak it into the cake, so when you put icing on it, it doesn't the icing doesn't screw up the cake.
I died.
Damn.
And the icing is a Swiss buttercream, which is made with a Swiss meringue. And the difference between a Swiss and a French or a common meringue is that when you mix the egg whites and sugar, you do it over a double boiler, so the sugar incorporates more into it, and it actually cooks it to a degree. So after you use it, it doesn't shrink on you. It is my tism now.
Okay.
And by the way, out of all this, you want to know how many ingredients, how many different ingredients I use total between the cake, the icing, and the simple syrup?
How many?
7.
7.
And one of them is water.
I wonder how Conan would bake a cake.
With his butt cheek.
Well, no. Conan would go to the kitchen, beat a wench, and say, "Bake me a cake," and then she would bake him a cake. He wouldn't actually do the baking. He would get someone else to do the baking for him.
He would do
an epic quest, maybe.
He would do a couple love taps on the buttocks. Bake me my
while
cake,
you're
wench.
baking a cake, I'm going to be spanking yours.
Hey, baby.
And what's funny is so the class I'm in is advanced baking and pastries. So our final project is to make a sorbet.
I'd still say my favorite cake is nice, just homemade fresh apple cake with some caramel sauce drizzled over it.
Maybe, yeah. Still, I don't think I've ever had the most perfect American apple pie. I'm hoping to try like an actual genuine apple pie when I visit the States one day.
Don't bite my finger.
Well, the best kind of apple pie is always homemade. I couldn't tell you what like particular place to go buy one would be a good one, but. But then again, with that sort of thing, nothing ever quite outdoes, like say if you if your mom or like grandparents or extended family like bake a lot or do that sort of thing, just nothing quite beats that, because there's this sort of a nostalgic connection that you have to it.
Yep.
Like when mom makes chocolate chip cookies, it's like they have a different taste than
normally
like other people's chocolate chip cookies, because they're just, I know it's the same ingredients, but for whatever reason it's just there's something different. And
maybe it's also the effort.
So we actually discussed that in my baking class about why like homemade food, even if it's made with the exact same ingredients the exact same way, why does it taste different or better? And we came to the idea, at least, it's because of the effort put in, that you're treating the ingredients with more care because you're making them for someone that you care about. that that you're not just haphazardly throwing them together, so that in itself creates a better product.
There's also region and weather and stuff that does change it, but it's also probably subtle things that say mom puts just like this certain amount of, salt or something in it that just changes the taste.
Well, no, it's the idea of if you use the exact same ingredients the exact same way, just with it being like mom or grandma as opposed to production kitchen.
It's also probably a psychological thing of you as the consumer of the food in question, knowing that it's coming from mom. So, assuming that you have a healthy, functional, and good relationship with your mom and all that.
Yeah, can you imagine not having that? It would be the worst.
Or grandma, or sibling, or anybody, or anyone near person,
Yeah, it would suck like hell.
People might I think joke at the secret ingredient is love. Yeah, there might be something to it.
Yeah, I think it's accurate.
Ah, yes, you have the skirt that shows off the buttocks.
The buddy.
Yes, the angle. The angle. Yes, we are very mature here.
Giggity,
we are
giggity.
mature adult men.
Giggity.
We're definitely not, changing the camera
The world's
angles
fattest
to,
Amazon.
changing camera angles to look at video game character butts.
butt.
Nope, we don't.
My
we don't
character
do that
sucks at stealth. I wonder why.
Clap,
You
clap.
you got that achievement on Nier Automata, didn't you?
Whoa, the one when you piss off Kane or Kane?
No. The one you get for constantly looking up 2B's skirt.
Oh, that one. Yep.
Bruh, I'm trying to sneak around, but the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards. That's your problem.
You're the one who's supposed to kill them when they get alerted.
The ultimate stealth tactic. No one can be alerted if no one exists.
This is true. This is true. Your flies.
Which I'm gonna give my controversial take here. This is why I don't really care for pissed. What was that game?
Which game?
The one with the rats and everything.
Hmm.
It was like high chaos, low chaos.
What setting was it in?
Hold on.
That does not narrow it down, unfortunately. Hold on.
No, it's not a Plague Tale.
Just trying to find some iron.
Dishonored.
Oh, Dishonored.
Ah, right.
You don't like Dishonored?
So here's why I don't like Dishonored.
Okay.
Because again, no one can detect you if no one is alive. They punish that play style.
Yes, they do.
Well, you do leave a lot of corpses lying around, so unless you have a means of disintegrating corpses.
Oh crap! It's the Chungus.
You can throw them in the water. You can have them eat. Like you actually get a spell where you can devour whole bodies with rats, with magical rats, and they still punish. And they still punish that play style.
Rats.
This is a problem.
That was a good job, mate. Challenging work, out of doors. I guarantee you.
Close up of the face.
You won't go without. No.
Oh, hello.
I haven't read any Conan stuff. I only have tangential knowledge of some movies, and I know there's at least a few.
Most of mine,
YouTube a few YouTube channels that have done lore on it.
Yeah, most of my knowledge is from talking to Ball, and now Nico.
Yeah, cause I know because it was kind of like the, because it cut its teeth in sort of like the pulp kind of genre, like back in the, because it was a collection of short stories in the 30s. Because I looked it up on Google, I think that the first like proper book was like written in the 60s.
Maybe.
The other ones were like short stories and little pulp novellas and stuff, I think, that were like put in like publications.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I outside the movies, my knowledge is very, very sparse. Oh goddamn!
I've watched a couple of YouTube, but there's not that many of them. There's only a few that have done like big like lore summary overviews. So I suppose that's a particular genre that's open for exploitation for any YouTuber who wants to do it.
Oh yeah.
Some weird keeps happening to my stream chat.
Conan is like among the most masculine thing.
Oh, it's the most masculine, arguably.
What? Yeah, because it is just like it's unapologetic in what it is. You know, it's a power fantasy at times. But it also does, like, you're not just seeing some guy get all the bitches and then slay the mighty enemy. Like, Conan is somebody who does sometimes,
I think what I like about Conan is... Well, it's that, and he's also, like, he's not a traditionally heroic man. In the sense that he's like a noble, gallant knight, or anything like that. He is begrudging about the good deeds he does. And he will.
Kind of the old form of. He's like the old like Norse and Greek, like Greco-Roman style hero. You know, like he's like the Odysseus or the Heracles, you know, type of hero.
Yeah.
Rather than like the Arthurian kind of like the Christian style of like the hero that emerged from like in the later or more modern Christian.
Yeah.
Where it establishes the definition of hero as a paragon of virtue, but. Well, I guess back then it was a paragon of virtue. It was just a different culture, so it emphasized different virtues a little bit more. So it was less emphasizing like mercy and justice and stuff, and those kind of ideals, and embodying things like strength of mind and body.
Yeah. Also, a thing like something that I know that most people working within the
thank you, Reverend Norse, for the super chat, my boy.
Right. Is the fact that, like, Conan, the important thing is like Conan's not an idiot. Far from it. Like, he is deceptively like intelligent, and that's something that, you know, with a lot of entertainment parties today, they have to make the man the idiot. Like, they have to, like, the woman has to. They have to rise women up by making the man either the idiot or completely incompetent. And that's not what Conan is. He's like the exact opposite of that.
Oh, yeah.
So that is why I highly recommend most young adults to read Conan. Unironically. And even some of the other stuff, too. Like Solomon Kane.
I am the sugar daddy. Yes, you are. Thank you so much. The Reverend North says, for Conan lore on YouTube... Oh, hello, ghosts. For Conan lore on YouTube, I use Grimdark half off.
Yep, Grimdark half off is really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I know, I know like the Kings and Generals channel that usually does like the history summary ones. It started like a fantasy sci-fi one, and they did do some Conan one. I don't know how good it is though, because I watched their Lord of the Rings ones and the Wheel of Time one that they did, and they get a few things off. Like, they're okay for a summary, but they get a few things wrong.
Well, I would recommend Grimdark, because even if he, like, I don't think he takes his time to do the videos. He does it in detail. Also, the one thing that is kind of great about Conan as well is that there were stories that Robert E. Howard wanted to make, but because of the situations of his life and all that, he wasn't capable of writing more, even though he wanted to. And so So it's not a complete world, but you can. But you can. There's some leeway for you to bring in like your own stuff, you know, while also being respectful.
Yeah, that was a bit of the nature, I think, of the like the pulp novels. I know, like Lovecraft's universe, it was kind of an open canon that because there were other writers who wrote in the same universe. So it's given that the two are friends, I wouldn't be surprised if he were around that Robert E. Howard would have been of a similar mindset of just sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is with pulp stories, a lot of the time, like, I wouldn't say they're easier to write, but they're somewhat, like, you could just get right to the point a little bit. Like, you want a story of Conan fighting against maybe a sea monster or something. Okay, then you just get to that story then.
Yeah,
like you can
kind of a shorter, direct delivery where it's sort of like you want to get to that. It's like when you're reading like a big series, like say you're like reading like the Wheel of Time. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to get to that one point. But I guess
I'd share a little with Asmogan for the yaps and the exiles. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
By the way, now that I've finished downloaded the game, Conan Exiles, want me to join you a little bit, or do you just want a solo game?
I'm only in solo mode.
He's in solo. Like for multiplayer, it sets up like a host thing.
Yeah.
The thing with Conan Exiles is a funny thing. Unless you like pay like the subscription, it's like you as the guest are kind of like anchored to the host. So if the host gets too far away, you start getting pulled with them.
Well, since we're in a Conan mood, I might as well play a little bit then.
Yep.
Sudo.
You can play the waifu collector game.
I'm looking for iron.
Well, once you upgrade to the point where you can build a wheel of friendship.
Yeah, I never.
Which doesn't take too long to.
I'll be honest with the Conan game. It's kind of game that I would love to play along with friends rather than really solo because it works better.
And, I know for me, I do best with this game solo. It's fun to play with friends for like doing like the raids and dungeon areas, stuff like that. But when it comes to like the crafting or build, and this goes, to be fair, I'm like this with most survival crafting games. I do best co-op games wise when it's like combat focused and when it's like doing like raids and stuff. When it comes to the survival and the crafting, I get frustrated when like everyone else is like on autopilot and what they know they have to do and like roles and stuff like that. And then everyone's building around each other, and I just find it frustrating because it's like, okay, I want to build in this order, I want to have this kind of stuff set in this order, and when you have to constantly work around other people who are also trying to do their own thing, it just gets frustrating. So,
I get you.
I like when it comes to the combat stuff in this game, or in any survival crafting game, I love being in a group. When it comes to building bases and doing crafting projects and stuff like that, I run solo. Even on a public open server, I run solo normally.
Makes sense.
I kind of end up getting sucked into the crafting and building stuff more so to the point where I start to I often neglect the going to like raid stuff and going out and abroad and exploring.
Yeah.
So like when I sometimes if it like co-op, it just sort of I end up being the one that just dinks around at base, and then people bring me stuff, and I just build.
Lime.
Yeah, because I think the only way to do like multiplayers, I think is it a subscription or is it a single pay? I don't remember where it.
I don't know. Ball. I know Ball's the one who's bought a server before.
Yeah, like when you buy a server, it allows the individuals to roam more freely, and it enables you to have like more than one, I think, server to play as well, more than one character. I don't know. I played it free in a free server with another friend for a little bit, and it was his server, so I built and did stuff in there. Just haven't done it in a while. So I haven't built my own to play on my own.
Yeah. And if I were to start an Exile server, again, it would be the fun of the multiplayer part of it would be like, hey, if everyone wanted to do the raid or wanted to go to like a dungeon area together, that'd be fun. But crafting and building a base, you go do it over there, and I'll do mine over here.
Yeah, that would be. That's kind of what it ended up with us too. Like we, you know, that in the map, there's that one sort of area where there's like the savannah area with the elephants and stuff.
Yeah.
With like the big cliffs all around it, we kind of like both picked a section of cliff. Like I took the, you know, like there's the big statues with the waterfall, and there's like the pool where the tiger live, where one of the tigers live. Like I built my base like on the pool. Like I built like a platform, and I built like this like Greek-looking villa. Like with the Greek style building like upgrades, I built it like right in the middle of the pool with a little bridge that goes across it, and then I used the cave system behind it for all my crafting stuff. And he built over on the opposite on the opposite side of the valley on a different cliff. Oh hey, there's a you could have kidnap those baby hyenas.
Yeah, I do that later.
Yeah, when you have the crafting stuff. Yeah, he built like a straight up tower that went up onto like a plateau area, like up top. Like so we ended up just with 2 separate bases that we could both build to our like style, but still, you know, shared resources and went on raids together.
Fuck off, chicken.
And, you know, army of friends, you know, that we acquired. I definitely didn't have a giant stage back in the cave where I had at least a dozen dancing girls. Nope, didn't do that.
I did that with when me and Ball had a server together, and I think Ludus was on it too. But when we were on our big server, I built like a Tower of Orthanc type tower with not sure which I think I used Stormglass architecture to build it. I built a tower of Stormglass and stuff, and it looked like really obsidian.
Is that one of the faction DLC ones, or is that an upgrade one that you have to unlock?
I'm pretty sure that's one of the faction ones you have to buy.
Yeah, cause I think that I only bought 2 of the faction one. Actually, it was 2, maybe 3 of them. Like I had the Greek one, which is the Argosian, I think. And I think the Khitan, which are kind of like the Asian and Chinese guys.
Got my first loincloth.
Ooga booga.
Ooga booga.
Yeah.
Me ugh. You give me meat.
Then I give you meat. Ah ah.
Woman, you cook me meat.
Then I give you meat.
Found a bunch of pelts, but I'm still looking for iron. Actually, by the time I find iron, I'm not gonna have enough room in my inventory for it.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I knew there were like a couple like big areas. Because our main base, I know there was a stretch of it along the river along the south, kind of, or river or lake or whatever it is along the south.
Yeah.
There was some like iron deposits like right along the south coast of it. Because there's like where we built our first base in that one, there's like a big stone arch and a gigantic tree right across the water from that. There was a stretch of iron, and then there was another one.
Why are you attacking me, emu?
Because you happen to be there and you offend its sensibilities.
Okay, well,
you got too close to
that sounds more like a cassowary.
Well, to be honest, they kind of look a bit more like that.
A little bit. They're both fuck off big.
Aloe leaves.
I was thinking ours, like, we only fairly recently got horses and saddles and messed around a little bit with that. So I hadn't really tried any, like, horse combat. There's, like, some, like, thing I had to, some little mini quest with skills, where it's like you tackle somebody from a horse. Like, you ride up behind him and you, like, you jump off the horse and you tackle him or something. I haven't done it yet.
Hey, you can have sieges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
NPCs
There's actually,
just...
I think a recent update built a there's like a whole event thing where you like you can build a whole base and you put down like a treasure chest full of like gold, and like you issue a challenge and people come to try and steal your treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you build like siege
Under
defenses.
ruined bridge,
You can build,
North
like,
Shore, Iron Brother Pillar.
yeah,
Okay.
You can build like
Oh, thank you,
elaborate,
Notice.
like death.
Both for the super chat and for the
maze that you have to
instruction.
run through. I hadn't done that event yet. We were building one, like building a big event thing. So it's like a way of attracting like enemies, and there's lots of like really interesting and unique drops from enemies during those events, and lots of level up.
I get you.
Because you can build siege equipment and besiege things, but
All the way down. Iron Brother Pillar.
you see there's that little mini island kind of like right there, and there's like that pool. That's like there where it kind of comes to a point. I think there was some iron like right along that coast somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
Ironic.
Fuck.
Again, rabbits. You know what's so funny? One time I had like a two-handed broadsword, or whatever it's called, and I tried to hunt on a rabbit with it. It just kept on escaping me. I even had to do a little segment with it in a video. And I think I deleted. Shame.
I think weapon-wise, I was maining a spear. I think I was doing the spears.
Oh, that's a cleave.
And I think I had like spear, then I had a shield and a single-handed sword as like a backup.
I recall correctly, there was some iron over here. North Shore, Iron Brother Pillar.
Well, there's some really big ones kind of up the canyon system a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's like I know that in like the actual proper canyon, once you get closer to like this really orange sandy area, I think it's somewhere around here.
That's like a bunch of undead stuff. It's more, I think, north and a little bit east. There's like that. You see that like big long windy river?
Yeah.
It kind of winds a canyon. I think it's like an offshoot like of that river. There's like a whole bunch of iron that's not too difficult for early level stuff.
Iron. Feed me iron.
Ironic.
Ironic, ha!
Oh, the irony.
Rawhide bit row.
Rawhide.
Fuck.
Got a new spawn point. Trying to kill some animal. Sorry, monsters.
Spin it around. We're looking for the iron.
Okay, clearly not. Fuck that.
Alright, looking for me iron. Is it by the pillar or? Wait, am I on the north shore or am I on the south shore?
Consult the map.
I believe I'm on the north shore. Speaking of iron, what do you think they will do with Ferris? Keep him dead, have him as the Primarch of the Legion of the Damned, reincarnation.
Head off.
Well, they also incinerated. They also incinerated Horus, but they changed that. So, if they bring him back, which if there is a Primarch, I think that they wouldn't care to bring back. It would probably be Ferris. No offense to the 5 Iron Warriors fans out there, who I get are extremely hardcore, but Ferris is. Climb up the upper pillar.
He's not that guy.
Yeah, he's not that popular. And popularity, I think, is going to be the biggest factor there. And with Iron Warriors, Iron Hands fans, see, even just doing that, I think most people make that mistake because, again, it's just Iron Hands are just so not cared about outside of very specific people. Ferris is not that popular. And the Iron Hands are not that popular. So if there was a Primarch they wouldn't care to bring back, I would say it would be Ferris. But if they were to bring him back, and let's say they want to do the complete package, honestly, making him the Primarch of the Legion of the Damned would piss off the Iron Hands fans out there, but it would be more appropriate, especially given the beheading. Yeah, like that. Yeah. that I think would be interesting.
Could be.
As for what I think they'll actually do, because this is GW we're talking about, they're not gonna pick the cool option. They're gonna pick an option. Ideally, I think that what they'd probably end up doing is if they bring Ferris back, I think what GW is going to do is they're just kind of they might use it as an excuse to try and upsell some Iron Hands stuff. But lore wise, I don't think they're going to do much interesting with him. If they do bother to bring him back because of his lack of popularity, it's just they're gonna make a big deal about it for the initial book. They might even release some minis outside of just Ferris himself to appease some Iron Hands fans, and then they'll call it good. Like after that, he's just going to be a background character amongst the main characters of the Primarchs going forward. I don't think they're going to give him a lot of energy and time. I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to try and make him popular retroactively, but
Ferris.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll just be Ghost Ferris, just bitching at Fulgrim the entire time.
That'd be funny.
Only Fulgrim can see him.
Honestly, that would be like the one interesting thing that they would do with Ferris, which again, I just don't have faith that they'll do right. But if it were me, and if I were a bit more optimistic of what GW were going to do with him, I would certainly do a build up to a big fight between Ferris and in his reincarnated form, or however they bring him back. Maybe they retcon it and make him a perpetual. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. But if they were to do that through hopefully a means that makes sense, having him fight and square off with Fulgrim once more, and then have the tables turn the other way, or have it end in some kind of a draw, that would be very, very fun. Like, you know how there was what was it called? Game of Thrones had a huge build up to the fight between the Hound and the Mountain. They called it, I think it was called Clegane Bowl, was what the community jokingly called it. I think there would be an equivalent, if not more, like, epic anticipation of that rematch between Ferris and Fulgrim. But that's like the only fun thing I could think they could do with Ferris. I don't know if they would think it through that thoroughly though.
Beyond the memes.
No, he probably wouldn't.
Asma, I put the cake in voice chat text.
Oh, you finished?
Yeah.
Aw, that looks nice. Looks like a cream cake.
It's not. So the thing, my wife hates like store-bought buttercream, and all the extra buttercream that I had in the mixing bowl, she was sitting there eating it while we were getting the cake ready.
He was?
Yeah.
That's what the kids do.
I was sitting there like, you say you hate buttercream. Nom nom nom. But this is yummy.
Your wife.
See, y'all question why I do some of the shit I do, and y'all see it as either malicious or just kind of mean-spirited. No, it's because I literally live with 3 children.
I don't think I called you. I don't think I've ever referred to you as mean-spirited or malicious.
No. But there have been a couple of times where people have been like, dude, that was kind of mean. Like, really?
Oh crap, I'm surrounded by crocodiles.
Although,
are they ticking crocodiles?
I'm gonna head off to Sleeper's Den. I know Tang is there. Play a bit of Age of Empires. You have fun with the stream, man.
Alright, see you later, man.
Alright, see you, man.
Right, let me swim off, y'all. Alright, I gotta try and get back to base, and I'm gonna melt down this iron.
Just casually swims while holding a pickaxe.
Why not, you know? Makes it more difficult with exercise.
Nothing bad could possibly happen.
Nah. What you yelling at, motherfucker? Ah!
What you do swimming in my water? I drink from this river. Then someone from upriver is like, ha! I pissed in it. You son of a bitch.
Starts a 1,000-year war.
It's like it's a 1,000-year pissing contest. It's like, I pissed
Literally.
on this river. I pissed in it first. Screw those people upstream.
Bastards. Hold on here. Alright, we're not too far.
Nice Nelson laugh, you know. Or what was that? What was that one? That one dude from Dexter's Laboratory who was the Dexter's rival who had that really annoying laugh.
Mandart.
Mandart?
Mandark?
Yep, Mandark.
I think that's the name he gave himself because he had like super hippy dippy parents who like named him like Daisy or something like that.
So that makes it worse. You name yourself Mandart.
He's
Dark.
like Mandark.
Oh, Mandark. Sorry.
Dark.
That's still
like
dumb.
Evil supervillain while his parents are like the most hippie of hippies.
To be fair, Dark Man was taken, so Mandark, I guess, is what you're left with. Flip him. Almost home. Almost home.
Yes, the safest way to get home. Swimming through crocodile-infested waters.
Which is funny, because the crocodiles do not chase you in the water.
That is kind of funny.
They could make this game infinitely more terrifying and make the crocodiles chase you in the water, but they don't. Okay, here we are. Start smelting it down. Alright, we're also tossing a hyena pelt.
His actual name is Susan.
Oh, right. I thought it was something like flower related.
Susan.
Yeah.
How unfortunate.
No. His parents' name are Wind Bear and Ocean Bird.
Yeah, they're mega hippies.
That almost went on my fucking nose.
Trying to inhale your Mountain Dew or something?
Huh?
Are you trying to inhale your Mountain Dew through your nose?
No, but my friends are trying to get me to die from inhaling my Mountain Dew up my nose.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just spitting facts.
I heard that.
I'm really not. We're
Didn't do
talking.
nothing.
We're talking about a cartoon that I grew up with.
This made me laugh.
I grew up
Giddy,
with
giddy,
it well, like.
I'm like the oldest one between the three of us. It came out in my time. God damn it.
I'm 32.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it would be me and Pierce. Okay, yeah. I'm still the oldest one, just not by as much as I thought.
Oh, my girlfriend's biting my fingers.
I will be achieving adulthood in Hobbit year come December.
My girlfriend is biting my fingers. Is that a euphemism?
No.
No, it's literal.
Literal.
Alright, tennis table. What's this do?
Delicious hands. Her stomach had the rumblies that only hands could satisfy.
Oh, I got back into a game to try and like ease myself out of my Monster Hunter addiction.
Huh?
And I hate that I haven't played it in so long that I got bad at the game, and it's Mountain Blade Bannerlord.
Oh, you haven't played Bannerlord in a while, dude? Dude. It's so fun.
It is, but I haven't played it in so long. I lost a lot of my skill at the game.
Yeah, I get that.
I noodled with that a little bit, like the couple nights back.
I have been autistically playing Monster Hunter World like it's the only game that exists.
Which is funny, yeah? Isn't most of the Monster Hunter people playing
Wilds?
Wilds, yeah.
Yeah. It's a $70 game. Like, no. No, I'm playing World because and everyone kind of like calls me an idiot for doing this. I'm something of a completionist. And so I'm going through leveling up all my gear as I'm going.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I have every variant of weapon there is that I can have right now.
Hmm.
So it's like with Sword and Board, I have like the Gyros, the Jagras, all those. And I'm leveling them up to the max point I can. For all 14 types of weapon plus the armor.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not taking me forever.
I mean, it gives you something to do in the game, right? Gives you a goal to achieve and to accomplish.
Yeah, let's not base it on the fact that I'm an autistic completionist and I feel compelled to do it.
I find it very hard to.
As long as you find it fun.
Like really like dedicate massive amounts of time to like. I don't know. I think I tend to be really. How do you say? What's the term where I flit around from game to game?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do that.
Find it harder with age of getting super hyper dedicated, sink a whole bunch of time into a single game as I used to.
1,622.2 hours.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where like I sit down and I'm like,
oh good
I'm in the
God,
mood for this, and then my mood is like, maybe I'm not in the mood, and then just like switch to something else.
Oh no, I have a problem.
What's your problem?
So I haven't played 7 Days to Die since February. Okay. Now my play time for Monster Hunter World is 1,622.2 hours. Okay. Some people would call that a little bit.
A little bit.
7 Days to Die is 3,136.3 hours.
You may have some problems.
I think on the Steam one, the one that has the most play time for me is Rome 2 Total War, but
that's up to you.
But then again, if you included like hours for some of like the other games that I had like the discs for back in the day, then it would just make hours just absurd. And it would probably be like Medieval 2 or the original Rome Total War. Just I sunk a shit ton of time into those back in teenage days.
That'd be my dad. Thank you.
I think I will craft a bow. An improved bow, I should say.
So that you may stab people from afar with greater efficiency.
Indeed. Question though is...
I do like the mechanic in this one where it's like you can, you can do like a more powerful shot. See, like you can hold it back and then you get the little thing where like the arrow like glows and like it's very satisfying when you like get a one kill. Like I think there's sometimes you can like even decapitate like a dude from like across the river.
Yeah.
Well,
like you'll see their head pop up and then you just pull it back and you get that little glow mark and you snipe them right in the head and their head just pops right off.
Asma, what is your opinion on Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord's War Cells?
Oh, the new upcoming DLC?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings on it. On one hand, like I'm not big on them charging money for it because I believe they are. I don't believe it's free DLC. Because it's been so long since they did any kind of significant update for Bannerlord that I feel like they owe it to the community to provide it either extremely cheap, like $10 tops for a DLC, even if it is big and expansive. Like, it's been so long, and there's so much free DLC, like the Game of Thrones DLC that people made, where it's like a complete overhaul of the game, that is way more expansive than the base game is, and they've kind of left the game in squalor for so long. I feel like they owe it to the community to provide this kind of update for free. That being said, I know it's adding naval combat as well as a whole new faction.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna ask if it was like Warband's expansion when they did the whole Viking Conquest, where it was a whole separate like campaign and setting, and that had naval combat.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that was a fantastic.
Yeah, all they're really doing is expanding the map a little bit, adding naval combat, and a new faction. Which, I don't mean to make it sound like that's something small, but after all this time, it is kind of small. Or like how...
Well, and also, they expanded all the troop trees, too, to include Mariner units.
Yeah. And again, if this had happened 2 years after the game came out, I wouldn't mind them charging money for it. If this had happened 3 years after the game initially came out, it'd be like, okay, we waited a while. But I'm pretty sure it's been way more than that, even.
No, it hasn't.
And when did Bannerlord come out?
October 25th, 2022.
Really? 2022?
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels older than that.
How much are they charging for the DLC?
It's not released yet.
Yeah. So they might charge a fair amount. But...
If it was like $10 or something like that.
Initial release of Bannerlord 2 is March 30th, 2020, so 5 years ago.
Oh, on Steam it was 2022. Okay.
Yeah, but the release of the game on its own, assuming with its own launcher, was probably was back in 2020.
Might have been like that. Is that like the full version? Because I don't know. Did they release it like a lot of companies do? Where they try and do like early access bullshit. I don't remember if they did that with Bannerlord.
I don't believe they did early access with Bannerlord. I don't believe so anyway. I could be wrong. I need twine and I need sticks. Which...
To be honest, I play both Bannerlord and Warband, even to this day, still about the same, because Warband has some, like I said, Warband has some great DLC, like the Viking Conquest
I know,
DLC
I already have it.
Warband, so it's so much fun.
I also, Asma, I know you know exactly who I'm talking about. The YouTuber Seth Zintak.
Hold on, I need a face. Who?
Seth Zintak.
Oh, no, I know who you're talking about. No, never mind.
I got a couple of games, but I got one a while back because of him specifically. And I love this game for its autism, but it's one of those games I've been playing sporadically because Monster Hunter exists. The Matchless Kung Fu.
The Matchless Kung Fu. Interesting.
One of the specialty moves that you can do in it is a groin kick.
Ooh.
There's another game he does that I want to look into. It's Chinese RimWorld, but on like 3 difficulties higher than what you would expect. And I can't remember what. Oh, I know what it is. Amazing Cultivation Simulator. Wish list.
Hold on, can I... Boom. I've wickedly upgraded my bow and arrow. I'm not using a Numidian. Huzzah! Can I make some... Aloe extract? Make some health potions, shall we?
Delicious, delicious aloe. Yum, yum, yum.
Get agility. So, do I want to dead shot arrows and thrown weapons travel twice as quickly and deal 50% more damage to targets? Carry me on load.
I remember where in expertise does the perk that like completely negates the encumbrance perk? It's in the expertise tree. Like I'm trying to remember if that was the middle one or if that was 100%. In expertise, or I think because there's like a certain point in one of that. I think that's the one where it's like even if you have the encumbrance thing on there, you.
Beast of Burden. It's the final one.
Okay, so it's in the, if you like 100% expertise. I remember I fast tracked to getting that one because.
Yeah, that's the most valuable one to get. Because
collecting materials just makes it so much easier.
When you're over encumbered, you can dodge and move at full speed. The downside is that does not apply to your animals.
Yeah, if you're riding on a horse, have the encumbrance thing, it has knock on it.
Huge pain in the ass. Shot being shared.
I also added an older game to my wish list, so I remember to get it, and that's Spore.
Spore. Oh,
yeah.
did you never play Spore or?
Oh no, I played Spore. I just don't have it on.
Okay.
I played the free 99 version.
I understood, my good man.
Yeah. So I never had it on Steam.
Gotcha. So, nope, wrong one.
This is another one that got recommended to me.
The other one I've been meaning to use is that Norse Viking one, Aska.
Alright, carting stations. Farming general. Yeah, for farming. Oh, I can make fish traps now. That's good.
Yummy, yummy. Now you can have sushi.
First things first. Whoops. There we are. Time to make a grand visage to Ymir. Mighty Ymir, give me strength. Actually, I'm trying to remember what this does. Hatchet, ice shard arrows, which requires ice shards, feathers. Make ice. Skull of Yogg. I have set Tablet of Darketo. Alright. Let me see here. Alright, I need brick. Let me start making some bricks. So I gotta find coal at some point. Because coal is way better than wood.
Yeah, it's way more efficient.
Indeed.
I think it burns it faster and it doesn't burn through your material nearly as quickly. What's really nice is when you get those big, like, industrial furnaces that just, like, chug through stuff, like, super fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the next tier of that right now.
The next one up definitely does it faster. Although when you get, like, get some work it for you, too.
Oh, I need... me reacquire the most stone.
You've built a shrine, so you can properly venerate the gods.
Indeed. Ymir, he's my boy.
I remember what was that god of? I don't remember very well. I think Yogg was the one that's the cannibals, right?
Yep. Cannibals, life and death.
What was the one that was like werewolves and beasts and stuff? I think it was a different one.
I'm not sure. Set, maybe?
I remember. I don't think it was set. There was like a whole quest line that me and my friend were playing. We did several times through. It's actually where we captured some certain baby animals that you can't get otherwise. So you could like raise up. It was like leopards and shit.
Knowledge. So back to what I was doing. Smithing. We need an armor's bench for sure. Boom. Chickaroo-banaroo. Alright. I need thick leather. Okay. Huh. Trying to remember if there was a Nordic armor set.
There should be.
Oops, not none.
That's the basic one. Where's the list again?
Debaucheries of
Steel,
Dirk.
Those are the Cimmerians, not Turan, not Dirketo. Let's see that. Argos, that's the Greek one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have them when I last did it. I didn't divide them all up. Like it just like when I did crafting, like for armor, it just showed me the full list.
Yeah, I can do that with all, but I was trying to organize it so I could see.
It usually breaks it down by type, so if you wanted to see them all, like just until you see the one that looks Norse looking.
Would that be the Numidians, isn't it?
It might be. Kind of has the visored helmet, but I don't know if it looks like super Norse. Because I know like there's an area in the map that has Norse type people, and I looted stuff from them.
I'm not sure.
There's your basic ones. There's the Khitan.
Oh shit.
Because I have the Greek one and the Sandstorm.
Oh, there it is.
And I don't think it lets you sleep. You just have to wait it out.
Yeah. Sleep is for the weak. You must understand this. Meh. 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 Yeah. Hey, beautiful. Good.
No.
Oh, you've stolen my arm.
You should know this by now. This is a weekly occurrence. I always do.
Yeah, you do. Just standing there. I have gained a level. Yay! Alright.
Levels.
You are not allowed to play the game anymore. Your arm is mine.
Apparently. Alright. Nope, don't drop your headphones.
My headphones are now.
Alright. I'm still good on meat, I think. Sandstorm has passed. Yay! Now, what caneth I build?
Now you have bricks. You build a fancy smelter.
Build. And also, what else can I now build? Ah, yes, a blacksmith's bench. Quite important, I must say.
You may make metal weapons. And tools.
Yeah. Nice
The
now.
scythe is very useful for harvesting.
Yes, yes. Scythe is one of the good tools to get. Damn chest. I'm old and dying. I could have sworn I had sticks in here.
Sticks and stones
May break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Boom. There we are. Now I can craft the core set. There we are. Boom. Full replacement set of the old tools there, boy.
Yes. Be more durable, do more damage.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let me add all of those in. Back to those, and now let's start doing the switch off. Should I do that there? There we are. Alright. I think I'm going to end the stream there for today, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all coming in. Make sure to leave a like before you all head out. It greatly adds to the channel, and I greatly appreciate it personally. Thank you very much. I will be streaming again sometime soon, hopefully. And I will see you guys there and then. Have a good one.